Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the star line by an author. Both parents were entertainers. She grew up around sequins and beads. Now her book, Dervish Dust, The Life and Words of James Coburn on Her Father-in-Law, is now out. We welcome Robyn Coburn.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Sean. Good morning.
Good morning, Robyn. Let's go beyond the mic. This book was formed from James' own letters, poetry, interviews, and unpublished memoirs. How much information were you able to get into this book?
Well, the foundation of the book is, in fact, those recordings that he made in the last year of his life that he had intended to turn into a memoir. And what I was tasked with was really showing his voice and keeping his voice in the forefront of the book. So the book actually contains almost everything that he had to say. There were a few things that were repeated themes he would return to a lot in the tapes, but there was about 40 hours worth of tapes. So that's the foundation of the book. And I really wanted to make sure that people were hearing his opinions and what he thought about things. And when I didn't have information from the tapes and transcripts on particular information, I then turned to contemporary interviews as much as possible. So it's mostly what he had to say, what I've been able to confirm. And memory's an interesting thing. I tried to fact check his memories as much as I could, because sometimes people remember what happened but don't remember the date exactly and that sort of things. It's very well footnoted also. I think people will be pleased to see that it's the best of his recollection and the best of my research. So a combination of those things. And it really is what he wanted to share with the world about his own life and process.
Your father-in-law influenced fans around the world with pretty much candid words. He wasn't known for sugarcoating things. What's your favorite memory from him?
Oh, my favorite memory, which I do share in the book, is actually, this makes me chuckle, was when we were on a family trip to Sedona for Thanksgiving. And I came out in the morning, and here he was on the back little porch of this lovely cottage he'd rented for us all. And he had a broomstick handle, and he was exercising, he was doing kind of a swinging thing, and he would stop and take a drink, and he was hydrating, and I thought, that's terrific, he's hydrating. And he came back in, and he said to me, I said, well, you're exercising on vacation. He said, well, if you don't move, you freeze, which was one of his little things which is true. If you don't move, you freeze. And then I realized he poured himself some more to drink it. He wasn't drinking water at all. He was actually drinking vodka.
Really? How has your husband, James Coburn's son, helped with memories from his dad's early days?
Oh, of course, he was basically being interviewed constantly. Whenever I had a question, he was right there. I could ask him. But I did sit down and actually ask him specific questions and specific memories. But he does tell some stories. So that was nice. And I also have an interview with Lisa, Jim's daughter, my sister-in-law. So those are very helpful. When I was able to actually talk to people, it was great. And one of the things that I noticed was, as a member of the family, people were willing to speak to me who wouldn't speak to outside people or the press or anybody else. So that became very helpful.
Now you help others write resumes, cover letters, and give career advice for people that want to get into the film industry. How does helping others feed your soul?
Oh, I love writing resumes for the entertainment industry. I get a lot of joy out of people learning how to do this properly. And I feel like I've helped some people move forward with their career, my clients. It's very kind of you to mention that. I have clients who are just beginning their careers, and so they're getting off to a good start if they have a resume that is properly formatted. And then every now and then I have a client as someone who's been around for a while and may not have had to write a resume in a while because they've had a longer job, and they suddenly realize that resumes have changed. So I also volunteer once a week with an organization that helps low-income people find work, so by writing resumes with them. I just enjoy it very much. I suppose it does feed my soul.
Author Robyn Coburn joins us beyond the mic, and it's time for the Rocking 8. 8 random questions. Answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. There is no pressure.
Ooh.
What sound relaxes you?
I actually like listening to podcasts. People speaking, talking about interesting things relax me. I love how-to crafting videos. The people talking, I listen to those a lot.
Last film you watched in a theater?
Gosh, what was it? We just went the other day to see Spider-Man.
Mermaid Summer and Sound Mixing the Coburn Way are other projects you're working on right now. What was the last book you read?
Oh man, does audiobooks count?
Sure.
I just finished listening to Will Smith's autobiography the other day. It's called Will.
Could you tell us what your favorite movie of your father-in-law's was?
I'm glad you asked that. Actually, my favorite movie is A High Wind in Jamaica from 1965. And
very nice.
I've always loved that movie since I was a little girl. And other than that, I like Snow Dogs and I like Monsters, Inc.
Do you like to get things done quick, or are you a procrastinator?
Yeah, I am a procrastinator. I'm a writer. Of course, I'm a procrastinator.
Where is the last place you traveled?
Oh, gosh. We went to... a couple of years ago, the last place I traveled was to Phoenix, Arizona for a homeschooling conference. And it's sad because they have had to not have it the last couple of years thanks to COVID. But that was somewhere I would go regularly with my daughter every year. What
do you do to get rid of that horrible, rotten curse that is writer's block?
Oh, I don't get writer's block because I've got far too many projects. And if I get stuck on one, I can always just go to another one for a period of time and then find I come back. Also, I recommend going for a walk outside because I guarantee that halfway through your walk, you'll come up with an idea and then you'll be like, I've got to get home so that I can get this idea on paper.
If you had to describe yourself as a flavor, what flavor would it be?
What flavor would it be? I don't know why lemonade pops into my head.
Author Robyn Coburn joins us beyond the mic. Her book, Dervish Dust, The Life and Words of James Coburn, now out. Robyn, it's time for one big question. What's the biggest lesson you learned from writing this book?
Well, I think there are two. The first is that you can have a happy life if you pursue your passion and what interests you. And the second is that it's never too late to find even more success. I'm an old lady and I wrote this book and I'm having success. And he had tremendous success later in his life, almost a whole second career in his later life, a wonderful second marriage. So it's never too late.
She last traveled to Phoenix, procrastinates like all writers, but has plenty of projects to work on. Her book, Dervish Dust, on her father-in-law, James Coburn, is available everywhere. Our thanks to Robyn L Coburn for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Sean.
That, my friends, is a Beyond the Mic shortcut.